Hello everyone, welcome back, welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren and I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things. So today I'm going to be doing my August wrap up, and a lot of August was pretty much reading series and finishing series, so that's pretty much what this wrap up is. Like I did debate whether or not to do it, but then I wanted to do the monthly wrap ups. And obviously I started my A Shelf a Month challenge where I try and get through all the unread books on one of my bookshelves a month. And this month I actually have completed one of my shelves, but there was only 2 books left on them and they were graphic novels, so they were a bit shorter. And I have almost completed another shelf as well, which is really good, and I'm really happy. And I know that this month I will complete the shelf that I have almost completed, and then will start on another shelf. The shelf that I actually completed was my Stranger Things shelf, which there are actually books on, which might surprise people, but there are lots of Stranger Things books, and books that tie in with the show, and comic books that tie in with the show, and like graphic novel bind-ups that tie in with the show. And I'd read most of them except for the 2 newest ones, which was Into the Fire and also Zombie Boys, but I have now read them. I read them at the end of August and I loved them. My favourite one was actually Zombie Boys. This surprised me because I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I thought it was really sweet and just a nice little additional bonus content, which I thought was good. This is a set almost a year after the first season of Stranger Things, and Joey, who is a new kid at Hawkins Middle School, joins the AV club, and he has a fancy camera that's like on top of the range in the 80s, and he decides that they're gonna film a movie and it's going to be the Zombie Boys, and they're going to use Will's Zombie Boy artwork and turn it into a film. And I just didn't really know what to expect. It's a really short one, so I just thought it would be this tiny little extra thing, but I really love the different discussions of race in there, of like Will's PTSD and like the struggles from being in the Upside Down, and all of the boys. I just thought it was a really good exploration of lots of different things, but it was also really sweet and had lots of lovely family moments and lots of lovely friendship moments and the party moments, which I really loved. I obviously don't know what happened to Joey. Like, where did he go? Did he move away again after this? Like, where is he? Because he's obviously not in the show. I've actually gone into a lot more detail about these comic books over on my Stranger Things podcast, which I will link down below. You can listen to it on lots of different platforms, but we're doing podcasts for all about the different bonus books this month, so go and check that out. But I loved Zombie Boys. I thought it was really sweet and just a really lovely little like nod and lovely party moments, which I loved very much. And then, like I said, I read Into the Fire, which is actually a sequel graphic novel to, there is a graphic novel called 6, which focuses on the number 6, but also the number 3 and then 9 and 9.5. I don't want to go into too much detail about this one because I don't want to spoil 6 if you haven't read it, but this focuses specifically on number 3 and number 9.5. They were in the lab like years ago, and now they're kind of they move from place to place. They don't want to settle down completely because they are technically on the run, but then the Hawkins lab is in the news with everything that happens in 1985, and they go and track down Callie, who obviously is in season 2 of Stranger Things, and it is that situation and them figuring out stuff that happened with the lab. Again, I really liked this one. I thought it was a really good nod to the comics, and we learned a little bit more about the characters and the numbers. I don't know if we're gonna learn about more numbers in the show and if they are gonna be the same. I don't know how much like 100% canon content these are. They must have some similarities. They must have to have some link, because every person that created bonus content was told that they weren't allowed to use number 1, so they've obviously had some talks about it. But yeah, I would like us to actually see more of the different numbers in the show, because 9 and 9.5 are twins and I really like that dynamic. But yeah, so this was that one. I just hit myself in the head with it, but I really liked these comics. I thought they were really good. I gave this one 4.5 stars, and I gave Zombie Boys 5 out of 5 stars because I just thought it was really cute. It was just the cuteness that I loved. Then I read Love Creekwood by Becky Albertalli. I read this on my Kindle and I just thought this was really sweet. This is a little bonus book in the Creekwood series that Becky Albertalli has. Obviously Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda and Leah on the Offbeat, and also technically the episode of Unrequited does have links as well. Love Creekwood is just a series of emails between Simon, Bram, Leah, Abby, and occasionally Nick and Garrett and Taylor, and like them being at college and emailing each other different things, and it was really sweet. I didn't really know what to expect. I just knew that it was like a little bonus book, but I didn't really know what to expect, but I thought it was really, really cute. And you got to see some more moments between Simon and Bram, and also more of Leah and Abby's relationship, which I really appreciated. I actually am going to reread Leah on the Offbeat soon. I want to reread Simon as well. And I really liked it. I just loved sort of that little insight to their lives and that little bonus content, which was very good. I didn't really know what to expect, because I just knew it was like a little novella type thing, but I really like things like that, and I loved just Simon being Simon, like over emails. He was still Simon, you know? And then here I have 5 books. The first book I'm going to talk about is the third and final book in a series, and that is the Magnus Chase series. So this is Magnus Chase and the Ship of the Dead. So this is the third book in the series and the final book in the series. I absolutely loved this book. I read book 2 in last month's wrap up. I spoke about it and I said I was going to finish it this month, which I'm really, really happy with. So this, like I said, is the final book. Magnus Chase is the cousin of Annabeth Chase from the Percy Jackson series, also by Rick Riordan. He is not related to any Greek gods. He is the son of a Norse god. So the first book is called The Sword of Summer, and that's the first one, so I'd recommend those. Percy and Annabeth are in the start of this, and it's so cute, and there's like a quote where Percy says about how amazing Annabeth is, and I genuinely wanted to cry because it was the sweetest thing ever. But I love this book so much. I think this is my favourite book in the Magnus Chase series. It was a fantastic finale. I really love the character like development and the way that they got to. I love the chase space. Oh my god, I love Magnus and Alex, which is going to be really hard to talk about because of Magnus and Alec. So saying Magnus and Alex is really hard. Alex Fierro is genuinely one of my favourite fictional characters ever. I love Alex so much. Such a fantastic character and such a fantastic gender fluid representation. But I bloody love this book. This is my favourite Magnus Chase book in the series and one of my probably top 3 Rick Riordan books. Absolutely phenomenal. 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. And then I read 4 books in 3 days. I decided to go wild, and I actually vlogged this and put loads of work into the vlog and reading it, and then the vlog footage is crap. Like, I genuinely wanted to cry because it was sad times. But I read all of the Trials of Apollo books, which again were absolutely fantastic, but you can't expect anything less from Rick Riordan. We have The Hidden Oracle, which is the first book, then The Dark Prophecy, then The Burning Maze, then The Tyrant 2, and then Tower of Nero comes out in a couple of weeks, which is very exciting, and I'm going to one of Rick Riordan's virtual events, which is really fun. And the Trials of Apollo series focuses on the god Apollo, and he has been turned into a human by Zeus because he has annoyed Zeus. So that is the Trials of Apollo series. And it's everything from there. So this is like an actual direct like Percy series kind of thing. So there's obviously Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Heroes of Olympus, and then this is like the another set of 5 books in that particular world. Whereas obviously Magnus Chase is, they're still in it, but it's separate. And then the King Chronicles is like separate again. So I thought the Trials of Apollo were amazing. It really made my love for so many other characters grow, which was so good. Like Nico and Will, absolutely love them. Like everyone got their moment to be in this series, which is what I love so much. So characters would pop back in it, like Grover would pop back in it, Nico and Will would pop back into it, Leo was in it, which was so after like what happened at the end of Heroes of Olympus, we get to see Leo and everyone like coming to him, and Calypso, and Percy and Leo and Calypso get their little moment when they get to talk, and it's like really sweet. And I know I'm very behind on these books like coming out, but experiencing them for the first time is such an amazing feeling, and I absolutely adore them. And I just loved that every character, like so many characters that we love, like came into them, and I got to see them in so many different ways, and it really made me like love Apollo. And Meg McCaffrey is such a little queen. What an amazing child, and I love them so much. So I had a really fun time reading these Rick books this month, and like I said, all I've got left is the 3 King Chronicles and Tower of Nero, and then I'm done, which is crazy because like the last 2 years of my life I've always known, like when I started like The Lightning Thief, I always knew there'd be another one there for me to read, you know, because I did start them so late. So yes, 4 out of 5 stars, 4 out of 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars. So yes, that was what I read in August. I had a really fun time this month because I just got to read books that I really loved and from series that I really loved. And like I said, I finished a shelf and I've almost finished another shelf, and I really like doing it this way because it means I get to stay in worlds that I really love, and I'm kind of on like a sort of kick of, okay, so I'm in like a fantasy mood or this mood or Greek or Norse and old mythology mood. So yeah, I'd love to know what books you guys read in August. Have you read any of the books that I spoke about? I'd love to know your thoughts on these books and what you think about them. I'd also love to know if you read the Rick Riordan series, which Rick Riordan series is your favourite Rick Riordan series? That was a lot of words that were the same in the same sentence. Like I said, if you guys are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things. So if you want to stick around and join us, feel free to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. And as usual, all the links to my other social medias and also my Stranger Things podcast are in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, 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 really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!